This is what your wretched father has made me put on my head.
Meet Sir Alexander Dane. He's hopelessly typecast, jealous, and resentful. And this is Jason Nesmith, the guy who is charismatic, egotistical, and overly confident. Basically, in parody films, characters aren't built from scratch, they're riffs on familiar icons. You recognize who they're mocking the moment they appear. For example, The Simpsons' Rainier Wolfcastle playing Arnold Schwarzenegger and 80s action heroes. Topper Harley is Pete Mitchell, aka Maverick, and Austin Powers playing James Bond.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
It's less about character development and more about clever exaggeration. The joke lands because you already know the original version of it. But 1999's Galaxy Quest is anything but a standard parody. The filmmakers weren't just interested in poking fun at Star Trek, they wanted to build real characters with emotional arcs, not just gags. Instead of rehashing pop culture tropes, they used them as a foundation to tell a surprisingly heartfelt story. And the aim was simple: to create something new, familiar, yet unique.
So I went and talked to Tim, met Tim, and said, I look at this as a drama. And he's like, oh yeah, right. He's like laughing at me, like, yeah, sure you do.
Instead of flat caricatures, Galaxy Quest gave us complex characters that formed the backbone of the story, turning parody into genuine sci-fi. In most parody films, the plot often mirrors the narrative structure of the original, sometimes even recreating iconic dialogues and scenes to add an extra layer of familiarity and humor. When writing Galaxy Quest, the production crew was clear: this wasn't just a Star Trek spoof. This time, they wouldn't just copy a story, they would craft their own. This meant that, even though the studio just wanted the characters up in space and the action rolling, Howard really encouraged us to inhabit our roles, to be our people, not just move the story along. It's a mistake many parody films make. They often prioritize plot over character, or vice versa, and as a result, the whole thing feels hollow. But on Galaxy Quest, the creative team understood the balance. They knew the story had to matter just as much as the characters. No matter how cheesy or absurd the moment was, there was a commitment to emotional truth. That's what made it more than just a spoof. It made it resonate.
Never give up! Never surrender!
To make the characters feel real, screenwriter David Howard used his own experiences in Hollywood as inspiration, letting the actors bring their own knowledge of these types of people to make the characters more believable. Alan's character is literally the kind of pissed-off guy who is always in an irritated mood.
By Grabthar's hammer. What a savings.
Meanwhile, Sam, the guy who was once kind of on the show, the guy who had a little taste of it, and it's just gone to his head.
Got killed by a lava monster before the first commercial.
And then there's the adult humor to keep it funny.
My TV Guide interview was 6 paragraphs about my boobs and how they fit into my suit. No one even bothered to ask me what I do on the show.
You had the... Wait, I'll think of it.
What works so well in Galaxy Quest is that it lets its characters lean into their typecasting, then slowly break free. Take Alexander Dane, for example, the pretentious actor trapped in his Star Trek past. By the end of the film, he's had this quiet revelation that he's actually making a real difference, affecting people in ways he never imagined. And Gwen DeMarco gets to make real decisions that have an actual impact. This is why Galaxy Quest could never work as a direct parody. Where most parodies rely on forced, specific jokes to get a laugh, Galaxy Quest finds its humor in watching real, flawed people commit to something with full conviction, only for it to go spectacularly wrong. It's the authenticity of their failures that makes the comedy feel so earned.
Go for the eyes like in episode 22!
It doesn't have any eyes, Tommy!
Go for the mouth and the throat, it's vulnerable spots!
It's a rock, it doesn't have any vulnerable spots!
The reason Galaxy Quest demands audience engagement is simple. It tells a unique, original story. It doesn't rely on jumping between random scenes or cluttered subplots. Instead, it stays focused on a continuous, linear narrative, one that mirrors the classic structure of the hero's journey. And it pulls it off with complete conviction, no winks to the audience, just genuine storytelling.
They be the miners.
Oh, sure. I mean, they're like 3 years old.
Miners, not miners.
You lost me.
I don't like this.
This approach means the laughs don't come from forced, obligatory jokes. Instead, they emerge organically as we watch realistic characters navigate an absurd, unrealistic situation.
What is this thing? I mean, it serves no useful purpose for there to be a bunch of choppy, crushy things in the middle of a hallway. No, I mean, we shouldn't have to do this. It makes no logical sense. Why is it here?
Because it's on the television
Well,
show.
forget it! I'm not doing it! This episode was badly written!
The humor arises from their genuine reactions to the chaos around them. Take the scene with this scene, for example.
Exiting time not now, sir.
We're alive.
We made it, Commander. We made it.
By Grabthar's hammer we live to tell the tale.
Systems register functional.
All systems are working, Commander.
I don't like it. It was too easy.
The original script had the crew landing and jumping straight into their search. But Tim Allen, ever the thoughtful collaborator, pointed out that in a real sci-fi scenario, they'd test the air first. It's a small detail, but it shows how the film never sacrifices logic for convenience. That kind of realism, even in a silly situation, keeps the story grounded. And then, when the crew faces that surprise ambush, instead of throwing in the towel, the commander delivers the most iconic line in the whole film.
No, never give up, never surrender.
Your orders, sir? Sir, your orders.
Activate the Omega-13.
That line became the signature dialogue, marking the authenticity of the Star Trek universe. It was a moment that showed how invested the filmmakers were in staying true to the world they were building. That same level of attention to detail can be seen in another late addition to the script, the infamous chomper scene.
Well, screw that!
How are we supposed to get through this?
Hollister, do you have the sequence yet?
Okay.
On the surface, Galaxy Quest might seem like just another pop culture parody. But unlike many other films in the genre that prioritize laughs over substance, Galaxy Quest invests in its characters. It gives them depth and complexity, turning what could have been a one-note joke into a fully realized, emotionally engaging story. Each character in Galaxy Quest goes through a journey of self-discovery.
How did I come to this?
Not again.
I played Richard III.
What's my last name?
It's,
Nobody knows. Do you know why? Because my character isn't important enough for a last name. Because I'm gonna die 5 minutes in.
Facing personal insecurities and growing along the way. It's not just a parody, it's a celebration of humanity, an exploration of relationships and emotions. And it's this depth, this genuine emotional investment, that makes the super cheesy, implausible ending land with such a powerful punch. And these are the things that ultimately made it so special to us. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.